Do not accept help from the woman in the white minivan. I work late shifts, restaurant job, greasy apron, cash tips, aching knees. On Fridays, after the rush, I take my week's laundry to the 24-hour laundromat off Cedar and 9th. It's always dead quiet after 2 a.m., just me, the hum of old machines, and the flickering orange parking lot light that casts long, haunted shadows on the asphalt. It started 3 Fridays ago. I was sitting in my car, letting the dryer spin, when I noticed the minivan. Plain white. Windows too dark to see inside. Parked in the corner of the lot under a broken light. I didn't hear it pull up. I would've. My windows were down, and the lot was empty 2 minutes earlier. It was just there. Like it blinked into reality. At first, I assumed someone had parked there and gone inside. But the laundromat door never opened. No footsteps. No sound. Just silence and the soft mechanical heartbeat of the machines. Then came the knock. Not on my driver's window, on the passenger side. Soft. Deliberate. Like she didn't want to startle me. My skin crawled before I even turned. A woman stood there. Mid-30s. Blonde, straight hair. Wearing a white jacket to match the van. She didn't smile. Didn't speak right away. Just stared through the window like she was calculating something behind her eyes. I cracked the window an inch. She said, "Hey, I think your tire is flat. Want me to help you fix it?" Now here's the thing. My tire wasn't flat. I'd have felt it when I parked. But something about the way she said it, like it was a script, like the words weren't hers, set every nerve on fire. I shook my head. "No, I'm good." She paused. Then knocked again. 3 times. "It's dangerous out here alone. You really should let me help." I turned the engine over and left without my laundry. When I came back the next day, the laundromat owner, Marvin, asked why I bailed mid-cycle. I told him. His face dropped. "You saw her?" I thought he was messing with me. He wasn't. "She's not real," he whispered, glancing out the window like she'd hear. "Or maybe she used to be. My brother saw her years ago. Followed her to the van. Never came back. Cops found the van running in a ditch 5 miles away. Empty. No fingerprints. No trace. I've seen her twice since. She only appears when you're completely alone. Never on crowded nights. She always knocks from the side you're not looking at. And she always offers to help, with a light. Last week, she said my headlights were broken. Then she said, 'Get out and check. You'll see I'm right.' She was wrong again. But I almost stepped out. I swear to God, I almost did. My hand touched the door handle, and it was like something cold, like breath, slid down my neck. So I'm posting this now, while I still can. Before I forget myself and open the door. Rules to survive the woman in the white minivan: 1. Never speak to her directly. Even a response seems to make her linger longer. 2. If you hear a knock, do not turn to look immediately. She gains strength from acknowledgement. 3. She will lie about your tire, your lights, your battery. Ignore all of it. 4. If you already looked at her, don't leave your car. Drive away. Fast. Do not stop until you see other people. 5. Never, under any circumstance, follow her to the van. No one comes back from that. If you ever find yourself alone in a parking lot after midnight, and you hear a knock on the side of your car that you weren't facing, drive. And don't look back. That advice saved me. But it didn't end things. After the 3rd encounter with the woman in the white minivan, I tried to change my routine. I quit the Friday night laundromat visits. Drove 20 minutes out to a newer 24-hour place in a more populated part of town. Started washing clothes during daylight like a normal person. I even parked under surveillance cameras when I could. It didn't matter. Because she started showing up elsewhere. One night, I was parked outside a late-night diner, waiting on a to-go order. My engine was running, headlights off. I was scrolling through my phone, trying to shake off the sleep that clung to my eyelids like glue. A knock came, not soft this time. Louder. More confident. Tap tap tap. I looked up. Passenger side again. Her face filled the glass. She didn't look quite right. Her eyes were wider this time. The skin at the corners of her mouth stretched just a little too far, like it had been pulled tight over something that didn't belong in a human skull. Her hair looked wet. Strings of it clung to her cheek like seaweed. She smiled this time. "You dropped your wallet. I picked it up for you." I hadn't dropped anything. She lifted something to the window. It wasn't my wallet. It wasn't even leather. It looked like a folded patch of skin. I don't think it was hers. I drove so fast I clipped the curb and sent sparks flying. I didn't care. I didn't breathe until I hit the freeway and there were cars around me again, headlights blinking like lifelines. She wasn't supposed to follow. She was tied to the laundromat lot, I thought, like some urban legend, tied to a place, bound by rules. But no. She was attached to me. A week later, I made the worst mistake of my life. I tried to record her. I thought if I got proof, a video, even a blurry image, I could show people. Get help. Maybe some demonologist or internet cultist would recognize her and know what to do. So I bought a dash cam. Wired it to run even when the car was off. Parked at the edge of a grocery store lot. Midnight. I left my phone recording in the passenger seat and waited with the engine off. For 20 minutes, nothing happened. Then the temperature in the car dropped like I'd opened a freezer. I could see my breath. Knock knock. I didn't look. Not right away. I just reached over, as calmly as I could, and angled my phone toward the sound. It was the driver's side this time. I turned my head just a little, and I swear to God, she wasn't alone. She was still in white. But behind her, standing just behind the faint orange halo of the parking light, were others. Dozens. Blurry shapes, just far enough back that I couldn't make out their faces. All motionless. Watching. Waiting. She leaned close to the window, and for the first time, I heard her speak clearly, like the static had cleared from the signal. Delete the recording. Or we'll step inside this time. My phone glitched in my hand. Froze. Burned hot like it had been microwaved. The screen cracked down the center, and the battery began to hiss. I threw it out the window. She smiled. The others behind her didn't move, but I felt them getting closer. I drove. Since then, I've had trouble sleeping. I see her in the corners of my dreams, her pale face pressed to glass that doesn't exist. She whispers in languages I don't understand. I wake up with nosebleeds. I find footprints around my car in the morning, barefoot, small, and pointed in both directions, like someone walked toward the vehicle and then backward away from it. Marvin from the laundromat left town. Closed up shop. A month later, I found an obituary for his brother. Died in a single car accident on an empty stretch of road. The car was intact. No cause of death listed. Just the phrase, unexplained trauma and acute terror. I've started sleeping with the car keys under my pillow and a duffel bag packed. But I don't think running will help anymore. This isn't about a place. She's part of me now, or I'm part of her. Sometimes, I hear knocking even when I'm nowhere near the car. Once, I heard it from under my bed. Final rules to survive the woman in the white minivan. 1. You only get one chance to ignore her. If you look more than once, she starts to follow. 2. Destroy any footage or recordings, she hates being seen. 3. Never let her speak a full sentence. If she finishes it, something enters your mind and doesn't leave. 4. The more you believe she's real, the more real she becomes. Keep your mind distracted. Music helps. Conversations help. But silence invites her in. 5. If you ever see her smile, you're already too late. So I'm writing this now, while my head's still my own. If someone finds this post and I'm gone, don't look for me. Don't come to the laundromat. Don't stop for any woman in a white jacket waving you down in a parking lot. And for God's sake, if you hear the knock, don't look at the wrong window. That warning has haunted me for weeks now, twisting every quiet moment into a battleground of paranoia and dread. After the last encounter, the woman in the white minivan stopped showing up where I expected her, the laundromat, the diner, or the grocery store lot. Instead, she started showing up where I didn't expect her at all, places where I felt safest. My own neighborhood streets, the parking garage at my apartment building, even the gas station I stop at every morning before work. Each time, she appeared exactly when I was alone, always on the side of the car I wasn't looking at, her knocking echoing sharp and deliberate against the stillness. But this time, the knock was different, harder, like someone pounding on a coffin lid, desperate to be let out. One night, I parked my car inside the garage beneath my apartment. The flickering overhead lights hummed as I grabbed my bags, my heart pounding in rhythm with every step. I didn't hear the knock until I was already halfway up the stairwell. When I turned around, the minivan was there, like a ghost summoned from some nightmarish realm. Her pale face was pressed against the passenger window, eyes wide and empty, and her fingers tapped, tap, 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 on the glass with unnatural patience. I could see faint breath fogging the inside of the window, But the garage air was cold and still. My instinct screamed at me to run, but before I could move, the sliding door opened with a sickening creak, and her smile stretched impossibly wide, revealing too many teeth, too sharp, like the grin of something not quite human. I bolted up the stairs, but when I reached the apartment, I found the front door ajar, something I never leave. My chest tightened, breath shallow, as I pushed it open. Inside was empty but smelled faintly of wet earth and rust, a scent that seemed to drip from the walls. Then the knocking came again, from inside the apartment, behind me, but no one was there. My phone, resting on the counter, lit up with a message from an unknown number, "Come outside. We need to talk." I didn't reply. Instead, I grabbed my keys and fled back to the garage. The minivan was gone, but the echo of knocking followed me all the way to my car. I locked the doors and sat inside, hands trembling, wondering if I was losing my mind. Then, out of the corner of my eye, the passenger window fogged over with a slow, creeping handprint that pressed from the outside. The outline of her face emerged, the smile widening until it filled the whole glass. I slammed the gas pedal and sped out, but the image was burned into my eyes, refusing to fade. Days passed, but the feeling didn't leave me. I heard the knocking in empty rooms, on doors that had no neighbors, in the silence between breaths. I started to see her face everywhere, in reflections on my phone screen, in shadows cast by streetlights, even in the static of late-night TV channels. Sleep became a battleground, with dreams of her reaching through the screen of my bedroom window, whispering in voices that were not her own, promising help, safety, freedom, before twisting into threats of pain and endless darkness. Then the dreams changed, they became memories. I saw myself from the outside, sitting alone in the parking lot, the minivan rolling up beside me, and the woman beckoning me with a finger painted in black. But in this version, I didn't turn away. I got out of the car, smiling, walking willingly toward the sliding door, where dozens of pale faces waited hungrily in the dark. I woke screaming, my skin slick with cold sweat, the knock still ringing in my ears. I tried everything to break free, changing cars, moving to a new apartment, even driving across state lines to visit family. But she was relentless. The knocking never stopped. And I learned something worse: the knock isn't always on a window or a door. Sometimes, it's inside your head, soft at first, like a heartbeat, then growing louder until it drowns out everything else. If you listen, you might hear whispers of the people she took before you, pleas for help, warnings you can't decipher, voices that echo with endless fear. The last time I heard the knock, it was not at my car. It was under my bed. I didn't want to look, but I did. And the eyes that stared back at me from the darkness weren't hers. They were dozens of them, small, black, unblinking, watching, waiting. I'm writing this now because I don't know how much longer I have left. The knocking grows louder every day, and the minivan waits for me outside my window, engine idling softly, headlights off, a silhouette in white behind the wheel. If you ever find yourself alone, late at night, and you hear a knock on the side you're not looking at, don't look. Drive away. And never, ever accept help from the woman in the white minivan. Because once she's made you see her, she owns you. And the knocking never ends. Rules to survive her curse. 1. Never, ever look at the side she knocks on. Your eyes are the gateway. 2. Ignore all offers of help. She lies to trap you in. 3. If you hear knocking inside your home or car, leave immediately. Don't wait, don't hesitate. 4. Do not record her or try to expose her. The curse spreads through the lens. 5. If you start hearing knocking in your mind, fight it with noise. Music, talk, anything to drown it out. Silence is her playground. 6. Run toward people, light, noise. The darkness is hers. 7. If she smiles, it's already too late to save yourself. Stay alert. Stay alive.